Well, if you're listening, welcome back to a new episode of A Breath of Fresh Football. Man, oh man, it's been a long time. It's been over a month. How you doing, Logan?
Good. Just been getting ready for my wedding. I get married in 2 days, so
Man.
I figured we'd record before my wedding.
Yeah, that is awesome. Hopefully we can get some back on recording schedule. Not really sure why we had such a long absence, but yeah, man, there's been a lot of NFL news, or in other words, football news has happened in the last month. The first topic, not anything too big, but the Steelers released guard David DeCastro, and then they ended up signing, I think it was this Turner guy. So it sounds like they released him and then signed the next guy. And then one of the first, maybe the first topic of retirement was Demaryius Thomas announcing his retirement. What was your thoughts on that?
So, to David DeCastro, I'm surprised they released him. He's like one of the better guards in the league. Yeah, he's getting older, but Trey Turner's not as good as David DeCastro. So I don't know the news there, and I don't think David DeCastro has been resigned.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think I've seen anything about him signing anywhere or re-signing or anything, but it was a little shocked, but it looked like they had someone else in mind. And you know, all in sports, obviously this week in baseball, it's the trade deadline, and players constantly say, it all they know it's a business, and that's the same thing in football. The guys want to be out there and they want to play, but they also know it's a business. And I mean, I don't know, whether maybe they think Turner is better or younger or cheaper. I don't know. See, like we're not. Neither of us are in the front office, so I don't know what went into the discussions about it. But obviously, they thought Turner was better going forward. So.
I want to say they're the same age. I could be wrong. I'll look it up. But so Trey Turner is 28 years old, and David DeCastro I know is in his 30s.
Okay, so it's a few years, but so I don't know what it went
Castro's
into.
31.
Okay, yep. So only about 3 years. So
But going to Demaryius Thomas, I mean, he fell off several years ago. Dude had a good career. He had a solid career. I will give him that.
yeah, like you said, he had a really solid career. He did fall way down close to the end of his Bronco career, and then after that, I know he jumped around on the Jets and the Patriots, I think, and I don't even know who else he played for, but he gave Denver a lot of great memories. Obviously, if you have listened to later episodes, the fans, you would know that I'm a big Tim Tebow fan, and the best Tim Tebow memory is when in overtime against the Steelers in 2012 or whatever, when he
Yeah.
threw that strike on the first pass of overtime to Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas stiff arms that one player and then runs it all the way into the tunnel up to next week where they got to play the Patriots. So
And how'd
he
that game
played,
go?
and then after that he got to play with Peyton Manning, and obviously they won a Super Bowl. So I don't think he can be too upset with his career. Player's age, and it was a shame he really didn't have it after that. I was really hoping when he went to the Patriots. I believe he was on the Patriots for a very short stint. I believe, I could be wrong, but I thought him going there was a great move, and I thought it would revive his career, but it just didn't happen. So
Yeah. So going to speaking of the Patriots, there's N'Keal Harry has requested a trade from the Patriots.
yeah, I did see that, and I think Harry hasn't been as good as he was thought to be, and so I'm not really surprised. It's just it's just not working out there, and maybe he goes somewhere else and does good, but if not, I mean, he's just a bust, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he just never wasn't as good as they thought he would be, or maybe the playbook doesn't help his skill set. Again, I'm not in the coaching room. I'm not in the front office, and I can't just sit and lie and say I watch every single Patriots game. So I can't really tell you. I just it's he's never really lived up to the hype that he had, and I understand why he's asking for a trade out of there. So
And I agree. I agree with you 100%.
yeah.
To go to the next topic, though, free agent quarterback Richard Sherman was booked at 6:08 a.m. July 14th at the Seattle Correctional Facility for burglary and domestic violence. He was denied bail. Kyle, what are your thoughts on that?
Uh, so I actually listened to the 911 call, and man, I don't know. I just feel like it sound as they said, Sherman was drinking a lot, and it also sounds like he was going through some stuff, and he's not even on a roster, so I'm sure that is playing a role into his mental health right now because a couple of years ago he had that famous speech where he said, when you pair me against a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the results you're going to get, or something like that. I mean, he was one of the best corners in the game, and of course he is aging, but with everyone doesn't take aging or the end of their career well. And I'm not saying that Sherman is done, because I still think, like, I mean, I would be okay if Arizona brought him in, even though I did not like him on the Seahawks, and he ended up playing for the other rival, the 49ers. But I feel like, again, I don't know what he is like in the locker room. He could be a cancer, and maybe that's why he's not signed. But it sounds like he's going through some stuff. And the the person that answered the 911 call was just, she was being such a, I don't want to say the B word to the wife of Sherman, or girlfriend, or whatever. I don't know what they are, but I mean, she was so rude to her, and all she was trying to explain was that Sherman was drinking a little. He was upset, saying he was gonna kill himself or fight the police if they were called, and but they were just like, it really sounded like the 911 caller, or whatever they're called, that
Operator.
they were trying to make it out. They were trying to get it. They were trying to get to a point. It sounded like they wanted blood, and I'm not saying that in like a bad way, but like, it just sounds like they wanted a reason to go guns blazing, if that makes sense.
That
And
makes sense.
so I don't know. I really hope Sherman. It doesn't look like he's gonna get signed. And again, like, it sounds like it's a mental illness right now, but it will probably play a role into him not getting signed. And I'm not saying that that's the way it should be, because I definitely think he should get another chance. But I don't see it happening, especially with this coming out.
Yeah. So, short topic here. Not much. Ted Ginn Jr. has announced his retirement after 14 years in the NFL.
Yeah, so that was the other retirement I said. Again, Ted Ginn, he was just a
Average player.
player.
He's
He
average.
was, yeah, average. He's more of your, he did have some good years where he was a good kick and punt returner, and he was probably your third, fourth, maybe fifth receiver on your roster. Just whenever he played for a lot of teams, played for my Arizona Cardinals, played for the Bears, Saints, maybe, I think, and I don't even know who else he played for. Another minor topic before we move on. What was your thoughts on the Bills signing Ted Gurley? Hello?
That was fake, actually. I'm going to find out.
What'd you say?
That was fake news, actually. That
Oh,
came out.
that was fake news?
It was. Todd
Oh.
Gurley is still a free agent.
Oh, wow. That's I'm a little surprised on that. I thought it was a good landing spot, but I guess if it's fake news, it's fake news. All right.
Hang on. He might not be a free agent much longer. So, Rams running back Cam Akers tore his ACL, and he is done for the season.
Oh, yeah. I
So,
did. Man, yeah.
do
I
we
don't
see,
know.
do
See,
we
I
see
don't
them
know
bring
if
him
he
back?
would. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'll bring him back because, especially with the way it ended, and I'm not sure Todd would go back. But again, Todd needs a job right now. He doesn't have one.
Yeah.
So, I don't see why they wouldn't at least give him a look. But I haven't even seen any news of the Rams signing another running back. So,
Yeah.
who is their backup? 'Cause don't they have another decent running back, though?
Henderson.
Henderson, yep. Okay. So it seems like he'll probably get the load for now. But I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see if they end up signing anyone.
So this is how old, guys. This is how far back we are. Aaron Rodgers turned down a 2-year contract extension with the Packers, but recently he has. They're talking about extending their goodness. They're talking about having play for just the 2021-2022 season, and then he can go after that. He could seek a trade. But he did get one of his receivers back in Randall Cobb. They traded for Randall Cobb from the Texans, and they gave him a 5th-round pick.
Yeah. I do find it interesting that I don't know what he's thinking after this year, but, obviously they worked it out where he's playing at least one more year in Green Bay, and then the last 2 years of his current contract was voided. So I don't know. I don't know if he's thinking retirement or if he just wants a new place to play. I don't know what it is. Or maybe it could be Green Bay just wants to give Love a chance after this season. So I don't know what's going on all there, but like you said, they did bring Cobb back, and the funny thing is, Cobb ended up reaching out to Jordy Nelson, and Jordy Nelson joked and said, "Get out of here! I'm staying on the couch." So they were trying to get the old band back together.
So the 49ers extended Fred Warner. They signed a 5-year extension worth $95 million.
Yeah, so they extended him, and I believe they have someone else they also extended like maybe a year ago or something. But that's like their two big D linemen. But they also have Bosa that's gonna be looking for extension soon. But man, they've been paying their D linemen, and they do have a good D line. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully none of them fall off the next 5 or 4 years or whatever their contracts are.
So also, going to news that's going to hurt Kyle a little bit. The NFL is talking about having their players mandatory vaccinated. And if you don't get vaccinated, you're out. Well, DeAndre Hopkins says he's part of his future in the NFL due to not wanting the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, so I don't think they've necessarily came down and said you have to do it, because it sounds like they've been leaving it up to the teams. But there is, I think the Bucks are one of the teams that was like, or some of the teams are like, if you don't get vaccinated, you're getting released. Because the NFL came out and said, if there's any game that has to get rescheduled, you have to forfeit the game or whatever. They're not gonna reschedule it like they did all last year. And I don't know. I have I mean, this is information I probably shouldn't be saying, but like I am vaccinated. So I did go out and I did do what, I felt was best for me. But I don't judge people on whether they get vaccinated or not. If people don't want to get it, they don't want to get it. I know people that aren't vaccinated, and I don't look at them any different. And Hopkins doesn't want to, and it sounds like I don't know, some family members, brother, some ended up dying, or not dying, or he got the vaccine and then he died, or some, I don't know, or he got very sick from the vaccine. See, I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to go back and read it because he was tweeting all about it. And when I saw that he was questioning his future in football, man, that man, talk about your stomach getting sick for a sec. There was that whole season just going down the drain right there, then and there. But I don't know. He ended up saying that he wanted to stay, but for now, I don't know what's going to change. But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't retire, because if he retires, man, we don't have him or Larry. No, I don't know how the season's gonna play out. And Cliff Kingsbury will be looking for a new job next year, probably back in college football, so maybe even high school. So
So on a sad note, Jets assistant coach Greg Knapp passed away on I think it was exactly 1 week ago today, as a result of severe injuries sustained in a bicycling accident. He was 58.
man, that's terrible. I couldn't even imagine. I don't know what all happened. I mean, obviously he was riding his bike, but I don't know if it was like a hit and run or if it was like an accident. And if it was an accident, and I'm not saying it's like right, but like I bet that person feels terrible. I couldn't even imagine if like I accidentally hit someone and they ended up dying when they were just riding their bike, man. That would just be awful guilt that would be over you. So um I couldn't imagine, and I pray for him, his family, through this difficult time, and the organization. I know, I think it was Zach Wilson that ended up tweeting about it, because that guy, Greg, was doing such a good job of helping or mentoring him or whatever. And, you know, like Zach said, I believe in a tweet or a story or something, he says, life is precious. So, take each day and be blessed for it, because you never know when it's gonna be your last day. Like, and I don't think we do that as enough as humans. Like, if you're listening to this and you have a family, you have kids, you have a wife or soon to be wife, you know, make sure every time you wake up, tell them you love them, because you never know. Or before bed, tell them you love them. You never know when it's going to be your last day.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that. To our next topic, back to the Packers. There's been a lot of Packers news. Um, Wide receiver Davante Adams had broken off long-term extension
Yeah.
contract talks with them.
Yeah, so this is kind of building off of the Aaron Rodgers news. He ended up turning it down. And then I think the next news was the Packers and Davante Adams that broke off, extension talk, man. The like I said, the Packers are it sounds like they're in a weird place right now, and I don't know what's happening in the organization. But I will say, for anyone that's listening that's a Chicago Bears fan, man, you guys are partying, because not only did you draft Justin Fields, but the Packers are falling apart right in front of you guys. And with the Lions being as bad as they are, and the Vikings aren't anything special either, man, the Bears could be running that division for years.
No, no, no. The Vikings will keep running it.
The Vikings, man, I will believe in the Vikings once they get rid of Kirk Cousins.
No, will eventually.
Yeah. Well, until then, I don't know, man.
On to our next news, though. Free agent linebacker Shaquem Griffin announced on Instagram that he's signing with the Dolphins. Good for that guy.
Yeah. Well, I think the Dolphin, the coach out there, Flores, I think he's so likable. I mean, they're having no problem like getting people to come there. I mean, except for the news of Howard wanting out,
So
which
Xavien Howard has requested a trade from the team, but
yeah,
he's upset with his contract. I'm pretty sure he thinks he deserves to get paid more.
yeah, and I don't think that's anything to do with the coaching staff. That is mainly on the front office. So him being upset, I think he still wants. I think he still wants to be in Miami, but he wants his contract situation and whether I'm guessing he wants more money or whatever it may be. Players they have all their different reasons, and the thing in like obviously in baseball, the players make the most guaranteed money. Now in football, a lot of your contract is not guaranteed, and so teams can cut bait with you whenever they want. And with the how rough football is on your body, football players they have shorter careers. That's known. You know, so I don't blame him for wanting to try to get as much money as he can during his playing time, because like we said, like you know, life is precious. So take it day by day. You never know. There could be a player that maybe has a heart condition and they don't know about it, and the next day, they're gone. So like, you want to do what's best for you and your family, and if that's asking for more money while being one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, like, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So I understand him wanting out. I haven't seen much trade speculation, so I don't know what's going to happen with him. But going back to another little pass rush news, the Steelers signed Melvin Ingram to a 1-year contract.
Yeah, that one's surprising.
Yeah, just
Yes and no. I mean, they need to replace Bud Dupree, but Melvin Ingram?
yeah. I think it's maybe he'll do better than he did for the Chargers. So I mean, obviously I saw that news and I was like, oh, okay, Melvin Ingram. The Steelers. We've been talking about the Packers so much, but the Steelers are another team I feel like we've been talking about on every single podcast, because it always seems like they're either releasing or they're signing someone new. So they're making moves. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but at least they're trying. Oh, so I found it. So going back to the 49ers. So their money, their core. So the tweet I found. So defensive tackle Eric Armstead, he ended up signing a 5-year, $85 million. Tight end George Kittle signed a 5-year, $75 million. Linebacker Fred Warner, 5-year, $95 million. And offensive tackle Trent Williams, 6 years, $138 million. And defensive end Nick Bosa will be eligible for a second deal in 2020.
Wow.
And then the next tweet was the highest linebackers on a per year basis. Fred Warner is making the most at $19 million, with Bobby Wagner at 18, CJ Mosley at 17, Zach Cunningham at 14.5, Miles Jack at 14.25, and Deion Jones at 14.25. And then Colts linebacker Darius Leonard will reset the market when he gets his deal. So that was on July 21st. I don't believe I've seen any news of him signing yet. So he may be making more money than Fred Warner. So we might have a 20 plus a million year linebacker soon in the NFL.
Which is crazy. So we're going to wrap things up a little bit, kind of speed through this so we can get to our next topic. Saints star wide receiver Michael Thomas is expected to miss the start of the 2021 season. That was pretty given.
It's kind of blowing my mind. So I think it was Madden, he got like a 90 overall rating, and he's about to go on year 2 of barely playing. Like, I'm not saying Michael Thomas ain't good, but he didn't play at all last year. So, and I know he was good the year before, but like I couldn't believe they gave him like a 90 rating in Madden. I was like, and then like the news came out that he's gonna miss the start of the season. So, and then on top of the problems of them barely having a quarterback right now, man, I don't know. The Saints sound like a mess right now. But Sean Payton, he'll shape that team up. I'm sure they'll be fine. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So then also more wide receiver news. The Bears have traded wide receiver Anthony Miller to the Texans. I was pretty surprised about that one.
I was a little shocked too because I'm thinking about the Bears right now, and I can't even name a wide receiver other than Anthony Miller, and he's not even there anymore.
Allen Robinson.
Okay. Now I'm dumb. Yep, Allen Robinson. But who's the number 2 there?
I can't remember. It used to be Eddie Royal.
Well, yeah, that was like 5-6 years ago, dude.
Yeah. So, okay, on to our next topic. The Texans are finally looking at trading Deshaun Watson. But their asking price for him has been some combination of 5 high draft picks and starting caliber players.
That is crazy. Based on everything that's happening with him, do you think any teams can give up that much for him? Because what if they give
that for anybody?
Exactly. If they give that up and then Watson never plays another snap in the NFL, then their whole future is gone. Not only did they lose their quarterback, but they lost 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever first round draft picks. The team's gonna be a mess. The coaching staff would get fired, and the front office would get fired. So is there anyone in their right mind that would do that? Don't think so.
Dolphins.
I don't know. It's with everything that's going on with. I know there hasn't been a lot of news about it, but I don't know. I would just wait until they can resolve that whenever it does get resolved before he gets moved.
In other news of people getting traded, Cardinals Chandler Jones has requested a trade.
Yeah, I did see that, and oh man. So again, going back to Xavien Howard, it's all it is contract talk. It is his contract year. Also, at the same time, Chandler Jones is peaking above 30. I understand him being upset about it and requesting a trade, but at the same time, I was a little shocked about it because he was such a big recruiter of getting J.J. Watt out there to the desert. And then all suddenly he wants out. You guys were probably talking about being the best duel in the West, and now you're bailing on us. And again, I know it's front office talk. I know it's trying to get a contract. Again, like I said, life is precious. These guys just want to make sure they can do what's best for them and their family. And I get it, and I get it, and I get it. But, man, please don't leave. Not yet. At least let's see how him and J.J. Watt do. But going back, I think it was today or yesterday, J.J. Watt was put on the PUP list. So it looks like he's going to be out for I think he'll be back for the season start, but I don't know if he'll be playing in any preseason games.
That's not a big loss, though, if he doesn't play for any preseason games.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so on to our next segment, our predictions for the AFC East.
I like how we almost perfectly did that at 30 minutes. So you get 30 minutes of talk, and then usually our predictions take about 30 to 35 minutes. So what is the first team that we will be going over today, Logan?
The Dolphins.
So the Dolphins, okay. So
what do you have the Dolphins going?
So finishing their record at 10-7, and
that's what I have.
maybe that's worse than some fans might think. And maybe they'll do better than what I think. I had them, I don't know, some reason looking at the games on their schedule, I just had it at 10-7, and I did have them losing to a team they might be able to beat. So, it could go, they could be 11-6, there's another team I see that they might be able to beat. So it could be 12-5, but I had 10-7 because I think the reason now thinking back to it, I was thinking about how Tua would struggle depending on the game every week, and they don't have Ryan Fitzpatrick to bail them out this year.
But maybe that'll help Tua out. So week 1 at the Patriots, I have them winning.
I have them winning too. I do have them beating the Patriots week 1.
I don't think the Patriots are going to be good this year.
Yeah, that's been kind of your memo all year. I think they'll be a 500. Well, you can't be 500 anymore, but you know what I mean. I think they'll be right around that mark.
Okay. Week 2 against the Bills, I have them losing.
Yep, I have them losing to the Bills too. I mean, that's obvious. The Bills are a powerhouse. I think they're the team to beat in the division, and so I do have an L for them.
Week 3 at the Raiders, I actually have them losing.
You have the Dolphins losing?
Yep.
I had them winning, but I respect your choice there. I do think that's one of those. I think it's one of those games where you look at it and you're like, I think the Dolphins can win, but will they? I don't know. That's exactly how I felt about it. But I did give them a win because I think the Raiders are a little bit of a mess. And, let's see. I have them being almost 500 looking at my predictions for the West that we will probably do next podcast.
Yep.
But, I think that's one of those games where, the Raiders could squeeze out and win, but the Raiders could also lose. So
I agree with you 100% on that. And then I have them week 4 against the Colts. I have them losing.
I have them losing to the Colts too, but man, our predictions for them, the Colts is especially hanging on. Wentz just being really good this year. So
I think he's going to be good. I really do. I think he's just going to be back to his MVP caliber.
Yep.
So then week 5 at the Bucs, I have them losing again.
Yep, I have them losing to the Bucs too. The Bucs brought everyone back, like we say on every podcast the last couple of weeks. I think the Bucs are probably the team to beat in the NFC.
So I have them starting out 1-4.
Yeah, I have them at 2-3. That's only because I had them beating the Raiders. But it could very well be 1-4. But they could shock us and maybe beat the Colts. Maybe I don't know. I don't see them beating the Bills or the Bucs, but who knows? Maybe Tom Brady won't play as well. Another year of mileage. Another year. I know he brought all his guys back, but maybe they're playing for themselves rather than trying to win another ring. I don't know. I don't think it is like that, but it could be. Antonio Brown might be thinking about after Tom Brady. Obviously he still wants to play in the NFL. Gronk, I don't know. He'll probably retire with Brady too, but
yeah, once Brady's gone, Gronk's gone. Week 6 at the Jaguars, I have them winning.
Yep. Obviously they're gonna beat the Jags, so nothing really to talk about there other than did you see that little interview with Gardner Minshew where he said he hadn't shit in a week because number 2 was not an option?
Yeah, it's not. People dogged on Gardner Minshew. He wasn't that bad of a quarterback.
I'm on your side on that. I think Gardner Minshew, if you put him on a better team, he's a starting quarterback. I really believe that. If he got a chance on another team, he's a starting quarterback. But the reason I will tell you he will not be the starting quarterback is you don't take Trevor Lawrence number 1 overall and have him sit behind, what, a 6th round, 5th round draft pick? I mean, that's not going to happen. And as we saw last year, Gardner Minshew went into the first game of the season and won it. And then the Jags were like, no, we can't have that. And then they played this Jake Luton guy that was terrible. And then they played Mike Glennon. Gardner Minshew took so much disrespect from them. And I'm really surprised they didn't trade him, because they should, because he's not getting treated well there. But I understood, the Jags did want the first overall pick. They got it. They got their guy, Trevor Lawrence. But I do think Gardner Minshew being there is going to help Trevor Lawrence, because Gardner Minshew is not going to just sit down and let Trevor Lawrence walk all over him. He's going to push it. The one thing about Gardner Minshew, I believe in college, and it's got kind of a crazy stat, is I think in like 5 years he was on 5 different teams. So he was in 5 different quarterback rooms. He was competing against probably 15, 20, 25 different quarterbacks. So he's used to competition. He's used to different playbooks. Urban Meyer's coming in. That's a new playbook he's going to have to learn. He's used to learning different playbooks. He's ready for competition. So I think he's going to push Trevor Lawrence to be even better than what he is. So
then next week I have them week 7 at the Falcons. I have them winning.
Yeah, the Falcons aren't going to be very good this year. They got rid of Jones. Kind of crazy. So I know we keep going, extending our talks, but my friend George, he was on the pod, I don't know, one of the earlier pods. He talked about the Titans news. So if you've been around long enough listening to us, you probably heard George talk about it. But he was in Nashville last weekend, just visiting, I guess, or it was earlier this week or last week or whatever. And at this restaurant he was eating, guess who was eating?
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones, and guess who took a picture with George?
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So it sounds like Julio Jones is a good guy, and he's happy to be in Nashville. So
good deal. So then week 8 at the Bucs, I have them losing again.
Yeah, obviously, like we said, the Bills are going to be good as long as they keep progressing to get better, even better and better. So
yeah. Week 9 against the Texans, I have them winning because, again, I don't think Deshaun's going to play.
Yeah, like you said, I don't think he'll play. So I do have it as a W.
And then week 10 against the Ravens, I have them losing.
I had them winning against the Ravens, I think, because some reason I had the Dolphins beating the Ravens when we went over that division. Was the North on our first predictions, but that's a game like the Raiders that could go either way. And, maybe hopefully by then I'm banking on that's week 9 or week 10. Hopefully Tua's got it figured out. If we're going into week 9 and Tua still hasn't figured it out, man, you might start wanting to write busts on him. So.
Yeah. So then we have week 11 at the Jets. I have them winning.
Yeah, the Jets aren't going to be any good. I have the Jets being the worst team in the division this year, so.
The Panthers, I have them winning.
So that was another one I think could go either way, kind of like the Raiders. And you had them losing to the Raiders. I have them losing to the Panthers.
So I did this prediction before Sam Darnold was signed.
Oh, yeah. When Teddy was there or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see. I am just banking that Christian McCaffrey stays healthy. But if he doesn't stay healthy, then it very well could be a Dolphins win there. So,
I feel like that defense will hold Christian McCaffrey. I really do.
maybe. But we'll see what happens.
And then week 13 against the Giants, I have them winning.
Yep, I have them winning too. Obviously, the Giants. I think they'll be okay. I haven't done. I
I think
haven't done
Saquon gets hurt
all.
again.
What'd you say?
I think Saquon gets hurt again.
Yeah, I could see that. Same thing with the Panthers. It could go either way, whether their, star running back is there or not. I think the Giants will be okay. I have not gotten to their predictions yet. I did I think I wrote out all the schedules for all the teams. I just have not went out and predicted all the win losses yet. So, but then they have a bye. And the funny part is the Dolphins host the Giants, have a bye, and then they get to host the Jets.
And I have that as a win.
Yep. So they're going to take care of both New York teams in that 3-week span.
Yep. And then I have them week 16 at the Saints. I have them losing.
Yep. I had them losing to the Saints too. Again, just like the Panthers and the Raiders, that game could go either way. But I'm banking on Sean Payton there. By week 16, hopefully they figure it out whether it's Winston or if it's who's their other quarterback? Taysom Hill. Yep. So.
And then week 17 against the Titans, I have them winning.
Oh, we have them winning. I had it as a loss because I do think the Titans are a better team, but the Dolphins could surprise us. Like we said, we're not huge experts. We're doing this for fun, and I think there is upsets in any sport, and that week I do think the Titans win, but it could very well be the Dolphins. They're both. They're probably about the same skill level, so it could go either way.
And then week 18 against Patriots, I have them winning.
I have them winning too, and I didn't even notice that as I was going, but they open up against the Patriots and they end with the Patriots. So if you really, really want to see how a team grows over the course of the season, you can see how they do week 1 against the Patriots and how you do week 18 against the Patriots. It's kind of like I know I keep going off, but man, so a couple of years ago when I was coaching Junior Legion baseball, we had 2 Junior Legion teams within our town. It was like a freshman squad and then like kind of an older like sophomore, couple young juniors, and couple of the better freshmen. So I was coaching the second team, which was the older squad. And we opened up against the freshmen to start our season. And, obviously I was still trying to get to know my team, where to play them. And, obviously I learned a lot after game 1 because we ended up losing to the freshman squad. And, man, I was really mad about it. But what we did over the course of the season is we worked every single game. So, obviously, I coached during the summer. So, I don't have practice every day. We hardly even practice. Whatever we had to do before games was our practice. So, if we hit extra ground balls. My catchers worked on blocking. My first baseman worked on picks and everything. We just kept working every single day. And by the first game of the playoffs, we ended up playing that freshman squad again, and we short gamed them 16-5. So that was as a coach, that was the biggest improvement I've ever seen from one of my teams, was how we lost to this team at the beginning of the year, and we worked to get better where we ended up short gaming them. And that's an awesome feeling to watch all that progress and just seeing – just knowing wow, I helped them get better. So, all right, what is the next team that we will be talking about?
I get a lot of hate for this, but Kyle, what are your predictions for the Patriots?
Yeah, like we've said, it sounds like you're more down on the Patriots than I am, but I have them at a 9-8 record. So like I said, right around 500.
All right, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I have them going 3-14.
What? 3-14, man. Do you not remember all the moves they made in free agency?
I don't think Cam Newton or Mac Jones is gonna do it, man.
I think, man, I'm hoping Cam Newton figures it out, but I don't know. I think Mac Jones is gonna be pretty good, but he could go either way. I don't know. Everyone wants to compare him to Tom Brady, but the moral of the story is he's not gonna be Tom Brady. There's no way he wins 7. What is it? 6, 7 rings, whatever. So he's not gonna be Tom Brady, but he's kind of got the same build, same mobility as Tom Brady, but we'll see.
So yeah, I haven't gone 3-14, man, but I will explain my reasons.
Yep. All right.
So, week 1 against the Dolphins, I have them losing.
Yep, I have them losing to the Dolphins too, as we just talked about in the Dolphins prediction.
Week 2 at the Jets, I have them winning.
Yeah, like I said, I think in my standings, I have the Jets being the worst team. But I think they do beat the Jets.
Week 3 against the Saints, I have them losing. I have the Saints defense just holding them, not being able to do anything.
Yeah, I understand your reasoning.
They have a hard schedule.
Yeah, like I talked about on a previous pod, I just, before the whole COVID thing, Cam Newton looked really good. And we really thought, like, wow, Super Cam's back or whatever. So I'm banking on that. This competition with Mac Jones is going to elevate him to the place that he needs to be. And I do think with the Saints, again, they are having a little competition of their own. So maybe I'll be wrong, but I just feel like, who knows if it's Winston starting, that could be a day where Winston throws 5 interceptions. And then Taysom Hill comes in, and maybe Taysom Hill can't throw a ball, And
or maybe it's vice versa, where, James Winston throws 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. It could go either way. Or it could be Taysom Hill starting and him running all over that defense for New England. But, it could go either way. I had it as a win for the Patriots.
So then week 4 against the Bucs, I have them losing.
Yep, that's probably gonna be I think it's Sunday Night Football, actually. But that's gonna be a primetime game. Obviously Tom Brady is going. It looks like it's at Foxborough. So Tom Brady returns to Boston to play the Patriots for the first time. So that's gonna be some much watched football there. But the Bucs are gonna win. So sorry to burst any Patriots fans' bubbles there. So
dude, they hate me right now. They don't hate you.
True.
And then I have them playing at the Texans week 5. I have them losing. I just had a feeling that that's just going to be a sneaky win for the Texans.
Wow, man! Oh man, like I said, it could happen, but again, Deshaun Watson not playing. Who is it? Tyree Taylor is the quarterback there. That David Mills guy they drafted. So, I don't know. I have them beating the Texans. Like we said, I feel more highly about the Patriots than you do. So,
yeah. Week 6 against Cowboys, I have them losing. I just have Dak coming back for vengeance, and he's just going to light it up.
Yeah, so I have the opposite. I think they beat the Cowboys, but very well could be. Dak coming out and doing really well. They have a ton of weapons there, but Ezekiel Elliott really hasn't been too good the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's still everyone still says he's top 5. running back, but that dude hasn't done anything.
Yeah. And then the next week, obviously, I have them beating the Jets. How about you?
I actually have them losing to the Jets week 7.
You think by week 7, Zach Wilson finally has it figured out? Oh, looking at the Jets schedule real quick, they are coming off a bye going into the Patriots game. So, very well could be where, they have 2 weeks to prepare for the Patriots. So, maybe it does happen.
Yeah. And then week 18 at the Chargers, I have them losing.
Yeah, Chargers, I think, are a better team. I'm hoping Herbert keeps developing into the quarterback he can become.
Yeah. And then week 9 against the Panthers, I don't know, man. They have a really good front 7. And they're going to win because they're going to stop Christian McCaffrey.
I have them winning against the Panthers. Yeah, me too. They're gonna. I think the Panthers are another middle of the road team where they could be better than what they are, but they could also be worse than what they are. I think we've talked about it before, but I really like what their coach. I can't think of his name right now. Whatever his name is, but I think he's a really good coach, and it could be either way for them. So
I can't think of his name.
Matt Rule.
Thank you. So then we have week 10 against the Browns. I have them losing.
This is going to be a shocker to you Browns fans, but I have them beating the Browns. I think they sneak out a win there.
Wow.
Thinking about it, yes, they have a great running game, but the Browns aren't a perfect team. And Baker can sometimes have games kind of like Jameson. Not as bad as Jameson. But, there's some days where Baker isn't really Baker. I don't think it's more as often as it is for Jameson, but some days Baker just isn't all there. So I don't know. I have it as a win for the Patriots.
And then I have week 11 at the Falcons. Again, dude, it's just one of those. I had a gut feeling that the Falcons are going to lose.
The Falcons are going to lose?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry, the Falcons win. The Falcons win.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I feel the other way. I don't think the Falcons are going to be very good. I mean, they did get a good weapon in Pitts, so I guess we haven't been talking about that enough, but I don't know.
Speaking of Pitts, anyone listening, Kyle Pitts is a rookie. He's never played a snap in the NFL. He's not a top 5, top 10 tight end.
But he's getting paid like one.
He is. But he hasn't proved it yet.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So then next we have week 12 at the Titans. That's a big loss.
Yeah, I have it as a loss too. Titans are good, so I don't think the Patriots are gonna. I don't think they'll be able to win that game. And then the next week at the Bills, obviously another loss, and then they go into their bye week. And then
I have them losing to the Bills big time.
Yep. And then week 15, what's your thoughts on the Colts?
I have them losing.
I have them losing to the Colts too. So that's like 3 straight losses, and then they get the next week they're at the Bills, or they play the Bills.
And I have them losing again.
So that's 4 straight losses for me. Obviously, you have more losses in a row.
I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 straight losses.
Yeah. And then we are in week 17 against the Jags. What do you think?
I have them winning.
I have them winning against the Jags too. Hopefully in a couple of years the Jags will be good, but until then, Patriots will probably beat them. And then week 18.
Against the Dolphins, I have them losing.
Yep, as we talked about in the Dolphins predictions, we have them beating the Patriots both times. So
and then so to the Bills. Kyle, what are your predictions for the Bills?
I have them going 15-2.
I do too.
Their 2 losses, probably the same 2 losses you have, is Chiefs and The Bucks.
Actually, my 2 losses are the Colts and the Bucks.
Wow, so you have them beating the Chiefs.
Yup, they get that vengeance, baby.
Really interesting. But, since we just talked about the losses, if anyone really looks at the schedule, I don't think we really need to go too in depth with the Bills schedule because, obviously we both have them going 15-2. I have them losing to the Chiefs and the Bucks, and you have them losing to the Colts and the Bucks. And it's funny because you're so down on the Patriots, but I also feel like you're so high on the Colts. So again, who knows what will happen? Like we said, we're not experts. We're doing this for fun. If you're listening, we really appreciate you listening. But if you're a Bills fan, obviously you can look at your schedule, and based on who we said they'll lose to, you can look at the rest of the schedule and be like, well, they'll probably beat the Steelers, Dolphins, Washington, Texans, Titans, Dolphins, Jags, Jets. And then, as Logan said, he thinks they'll lose to the Colts. I have them beating the Colts, beating the Saints, beating the Patriots, losing to the Bucks. Panthers, they'll probably beat Patriots again. They'll beat the Falcons. They'll beat and the Jets.
Yeah.
So, do you have any thoughts on anything I just said?
I don't think we need to go in too much into the Bills. Again, guys, you guys know I think the Bills are going all the way.
Yep. I do think they could be a team that goes all the way if they hopefully injuries. Hopefully they don't have injuries. Hopefully, I understand people not getting the vaccine. Like I said, I don't judge anyone. But whatever ends up happening with that, hopefully not too many players get sick. Hopefully we don't have to see teams forfeit because obviously I imagine the NFL would probably lose money if they lose a game on national TV. I don't know. I could be wrong. But if a team
would.
So that it's after saying that, I kind of find that odd that they're going to cancel games, but I guess they don't want to go in the headache of rescheduling games. I think the big thing is the NFL's trying to bully the players. And I'm not saying people shouldn't get vaccinated, but I'm not saying they have to. But I think they're trying to bully them into getting it because they don't want to have to reschedule games. So they're putting their foot down saying, if we have to reschedule a game, then you are forfeiting. Because they're not going to do it. They want you to get vaccinated. And some teams, like we said earlier, some teams are releasing players if they're not getting the vaccine. So I don't know what this season's going to hold.
To the Jets. I have them going 3-14.
I have them going 3-14 too. So let's talk about, obviously that's another, kind of like the Bills, there's not much to talk about, but I'm curious on what weeks and what teams you have them beating.
I have them beating the Patriots week 7.
Okay.
I have them beating the Texans week 12.
Okay.
And then I have them beating the Eagles week 13.
All right. So out of the 3, I agreed with one of yours.
Really?
Yeah, so week 3, I have them beating the Broncos, which is interesting because I just don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Broncos. I do think the Broncos have a good offense, so it very well could be where the Broncos do win that game. But some reason I have a feeling the Jets win it. So I have them starting 1-2. And then I have them winning against the Falcons. I might be a little lower on the Falcons than you guys or maybe the fans are. And, like I said, if there's any Falcon fans out there that hates our prediction, like I said, we're not experts. We're just going on gut feeling. And if you're mad at us because of that and you don't want to listen to us ever again, well, we understand and we wish you the best of luck, but we hope to keep your listening-ship or viewership. We do. Speaking of viewership, we do have a YouTube channel. So if you don't like to listen to podcasts and you would rather listen or listen to it on YouTube, that's always an option. So you can follow us at A Breath of Fresh Football Podcast, I believe it is. So please go out and follow us on YouTube. So I have them beating the Falcons and I have them beating the Eagles. So that was the one I agreed with.
Really, the Falcons.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. Matt Ryan's another year older.
All
They
right.
got rid of Jones. Pitts is unproven. I don't even know who their running back is anymore. Is it? Yeah, I don't even know. So that's. So
well,
I don't know.
next week we're going to do the AFC West, and I cannot wait because we're going to lose fans after that.
Yeah, hey, come back because I don't know. I think one of my predictions might surprise you because I don't believe it'll actually happen, but it could very well happen. So we will see what happens. But please come out and by next week, guys, as we mentioned earlier on the pod, Logan will be a taken man for as long as McKenna deals with him.
So 3 years, guys.
So, yep, 3 years and counting. So, so I'm happy for you, and we will actually be meeting up. For those who are listening, I will be at Logan's wedding. I look really forward to seeing him again, and seeing him marry the person that makes him the happiest person in the world. So,
I appreciate that, buddy.
So I'm really excited to be there, and maybe we'll take a picture for our viewers to see us. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but until then, Logan, it was awesome talking to you, and
It's good.
I will see you on Saturday, and then talk to you sometime next week.
All right, you guys have a good one.